Dawn breaks. Silence hangs in the air. Your alarm shatters the stillness. And in that single moment, before your mind floods with thoughts, before the world makes its demands, you hold pure potential. Right here, right now. You can either let this day happen to you, or you can seize it with both hands and make it yours. Marcus Aurelius knew this battle intimately. Ruler of Rome, warrior, philosopher, he faced mornings just like yours, and he wrote these words in his private journal. At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being, not as a slave to comfort, not as a victim of circumstance, as a human being who chooses strength over weakness, discipline over drift. Listen, your mind will either be your weapon or your prison, and that decision gets made in the first 30 minutes after you wake up. Most people hand their power away before breakfast. They grab their phone, they scroll, they let anxiety, comparison, and chaos flood their consciousness, and by the time they realize what happened, the day already owns them. But not you, not today, not anymore. Stoicism cuts through the noise with one razor-sharp truth. You cannot control the world, but you can master your response to it. And that mastery begins when you open your eyes. It begins when you decide that this morning, this singular, unrepeatable morning, will not be wasted on autopilot. Seneca warned us. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Stop suffering. Stop imagining worst-case scenarios. Stop rehearsing failure in your mind. Start commanding your morning instead. Every sunrise is a reset button, a second chance, a clean slate handed to you by the universe itself. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have your entire life figured out. You just need to win the next 60 minutes. Because when you win your morning, you build momentum. And momentum is everything. It's the difference between people who talk about change and people who become it. Right now, we're diving into 10 Stoic practices that will transform how you start your day. Not theory, not philosophy for the sake of sounding wise. Real tools you can use every morning to discipline your mind, reclaim your energy, and walk through your day like someone who owns it. These aren't motivational band-aids. These are battle-tested principles that helped ancient warriors, emperors, and philosophers survive chaos and build legendary lives. And I need something from you right now. Hit that like button, not later, now. Drop a comment telling me you're ready to change your mornings. Share this with one person who needs to hear it. Subscribe to this channel because we're building an army of people who refuse to live on autopilot. And don't you dare skip a single section of this video. Every piece matters. Every practice builds on the last. Your future self is watching. Make them proud. If you're ready to own your mornings, type this in the comments right now. I wake up with purpose. Number 1. Today is yours. Make it count. Every morning you're handed 24 brand new hours. No one can take them from you. No one can spend them for you. They're yours. But here's the catch. They disappear whether you use them or not. The Stoics called this memento mori, the remembrance of death, not to make you sad, but to wake you up. Seneca wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." Think about that. We act like we have forever, but we don't. And the mornings we throw away, we never get them back. When you wake up, your first thought matters. Most people wake up thinking about what they didn't finish yesterday or what might go wrong today. That's a losing game. Instead, start with a simple declaration. Today is mine. I own it. I will not drift through it. This isn't arrogance, it's ownership. It's refusing to be a passenger in your own life. The moment you take responsibility for your day, you take back your power. The Stoics believed that each day was a microcosm of an entire life. How you live today is how you live your life. If you waste today, you're practicing wasting your life. If you honor today, you're practicing a life of meaning. So, when your alarm goes off, don't hit snooze. Don't check your phone. Don't scroll. Sit up, take a breath, and remind yourself, this day will never come again. It's not a rehearsal, it's the real thing. Epictetus said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." And what's beyond your control? Yesterday, tomorrow, other people's opinions. What is in your control? Right now, this moment, this choice. You can't control if it rains today, but you can control whether you complain about it or grab an umbrella. You can't control if someone is rude to you, but you can control whether you let it ruin your peace. Making today count doesn't mean you have to conquer the world. It means you show up with intention. It means you move through your day with awareness, not autopilot. It means you ask yourself, am I using my time, or is my time using me? When you start treating each day like the gift it is, everything shifts. You stop procrastinating. You stop waiting for the perfect moment. You stop living in your head and start living in your life. Today is yours. Don't waste it. Don't save it. Live it. Drop your declaration below. Comment, "I own my day." Number 2. Your thoughts shape your day. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts, not your circumstances, not your bank account, not the weather or the traffic or what someone said to you, your thoughts." And the battle for your day is won or lost in your mind before you ever step out of bed. If you wake up thinking, "I don't want to do this," then you won't. If you wake up thinking, "I can't handle this," then you probably won't. But if you wake up thinking, "I choose how I respond to today," everything changes. Your mind is the most powerful tool you have, but most people never train it. They let thoughts run wild, like untamed horses pulling them in every direction. The Stoics understood that discipline begins with awareness. You have to catch your thoughts before they catch you. When a negative thought appears, "This is too hard, I'm not good enough," what's the point? Don't let it settle in. Question it. Challenge it. Ask yourself, is this thought helping me or hurting me? Is it true, or is it just fear talking? Seneca warned, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Think about how many times you've worried about something that never happened, how many hours you've lost replaying conversations that are over, how many mornings you've started in a mental prison of your own creation. The Stoics practiced something called premeditatio malorum, imagining the worst so you're prepared, not paralyzed. But they didn't dwell there. They used it to build resilience. Then they moved forward with clarity. Every morning, you get to choose the lens you look through. You can focus on what's wrong, or you can focus on what's possible. You can replay yesterday's mistakes, or you can learn from them and let them go. This isn't toxic positivity. This is intentional thinking. It's refusing to let your mind bully you into a bad day before it even starts. When you wake up, take 60 seconds, just 60, and set your mental direction. Say to yourself, "I will not be ruled by fear today. I will not be reactive. I will be thoughtful. I will be strong." The quality of your thoughts determines the quality of your actions, and the quality of your actions determines the quality of your life. It's that simple. If you think small, you'll act small. If you think defeated, you'll act defeated. But if you think with purpose, with courage, with discipline, you'll act that way too. Your thoughts are not random. They're seeds. And every morning, you're planting a garden. Plant wisely. Let me see your commitment. Write in the comments, "I choose my thoughts." Number 3. Leave yesterday behind. One of the most powerful lessons from Stoicism is this: You cannot change the past, not 1 second of it, not one word, not one mistake. And yet, so many of us carry yesterday into today like a heavy backpack we refuse to put down. We wake up thinking about what we should have said, what we should have done, who we should have been. And while we're stuck in yesterday, today slips away. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Confine yourself to the present." Not because the past doesn't matter, but because clinging to it steals your power. Every morning is a reset button. It's a chance to start fresh, to let go of what didn't work, and to step forward without the weight of regret. This doesn't mean you ignore your mistakes. The Stoics were big on reflection. They believed in reviewing your day, learning from it, and improving. But there's a difference between learning and dwelling. Learning says, "I see what I did wrong, and I'll do better." Dwelling says, "I can't believe I did that. I'm terrible. I'll never change." One moves you forward, the other keeps you stuck. Epictetus taught that we disturb ourselves by our own judgments. It's not the past that's hurting you, it's the story you're telling yourself about the past. Maybe you failed at something, maybe you hurt someone, maybe you missed an opportunity. Okay, that happened. But who says it has to define you? Who says you can't wake up today and be different? The Stoics believed in the power of now. They believed that every moment is a chance to practice virtue, to act with wisdom, to begin again. Letting go of yesterday isn't about pretending it didn't happen. It's about refusing to let it control you. It's about recognizing that you are not your worst moment. You are not your biggest mistake. You are someone who is capable of growth, of change, of showing up better today than you did yesterday. And that starts with a simple choice: to leave what's behind you where it belongs, behind you. When you wake up tomorrow, ask yourself, am I carrying something I don't need to carry? If the answer is yes, set it down. Forgive yourself, forgive others, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. You deserve to move through your day without dragging chains. The past is over. Today is here, and you get to decide what you bring into it. Show me you're ready to move forward. Type, "I release what I cannot change." Number 4, control your mind first. There's a reason the Stoics spent so much time talking about the mind, because everything starts there. Your emotions, your actions, your results, your entire life. It all flows from what's happening between your ears. Epictetus said it plainly: you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Most people spend their mornings reacting. They wake up, check their phone, and immediately give their mental energy away. A notification, a message, a headline, and just like that, they're no longer in control. Their mind is being pulled in 10 directions before they even get out of bed. Controlling your mind doesn't mean forcing yourself to think a certain way. It means being intentional about where you place your attention. It means not letting every passing thought dictate your mood. The Stoics practiced what they called the discipline of assent, choosing which thoughts to accept and which to dismiss. Not every thought that enters your mind deserves your energy. Some thoughts are just noise. Some are old patterns trying to repeat themselves, and you have the power to say, "No, I'm not going there today." When you wake up, your mind is at its most vulnerable. It's still half asleep, still processing dreams, still fuzzy, and that's exactly when fear, doubt, and anxiety try to sneak in. They know you're not fully alert yet, so they whisper things like, "You're not ready," or "This is going to be hard," or "Why even try?" And if you're not careful, you'll believe them. But here's the truth. Those thoughts are not you. They're just mental static, and you don't have to obey them. The Stoics believed in morning rituals, not because they were superstitious, but because they knew the mind needs structure. Before you do anything else, take control. Sit quietly for a moment. Breathe. Ground yourself. Remind yourself of what matters. Remind yourself of who you want to be. This isn't meditation for the sake of being calm. This is preparation. This is you taking the reins before the day tries to throw you off course. Marcus Aurelius would wake up and tell himself, "Today I will meet people who are meddling, ungrateful, arrogant." He wasn't being negative. He was preparing his mind so nothing could catch him off guard. When you control your mind first, everything else becomes easier. You don't overreact. You don't spiral. You don't let one bad moment ruin the next 10. You move through your day with clarity, with intention, with power. And that doesn't happen by accident. It happens because you decided, first thing in the morning, that your mind belongs to you, and no one and nothing else gets to take it from you. Claim your power in the comments below. I control my mind. Number 5. Start strong, finish stronger. There's a concept in physics called momentum. An object in motion stays in motion, and the same is true for your life. How you start your morning creates momentum that carries you through the entire day. If you start slow, distracted and half-hearted, that energy follows you. But if you start strong, with clarity, with focus, with action, you build a force that's hard to stop. The Stoics understood this deeply. They didn't wait to feel motivated. They didn't wait for inspiration. They acted first, and the energy followed. Seneca wrote, "Begin at once to live and count each separate day as a separate life." That means you don't ease into your day. You don't warm up to it. You attack it, not with stress or aggression, but with purpose. You decide what matters most, and you do that first, not later, not when you feel like it. First, because when you win the morning, you win the day, and when you win the day, you win your life. It's that simple. Starting strong doesn't mean you have to do something huge. It means you do something that matters. Maybe it's 10 minutes of reading. Maybe it's a workout. Maybe it's journaling. Maybe it's tackling the hardest task on your list while your mind is still fresh. Whatever it is, it should be something that makes you feel like you've already won before most people have even started. The Stoics called this practicing virtue, doing the right thing, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. But here's the key: starting strong is only half the battle. You also have to finish stronger. A lot of people start with fire and fizzle out by noon. They make big plans and quit halfway through. The Stoics hated that. They believed in endurance, in consistency, in seeing things through. Marcus Aurelius said, "Just that you do the right thing. The rest doesn't matter." It's not about being flashy. It's about being faithful to your commitments. It's about doing what you said you'd do, even when no one's watching, even when it's boring, even when it's hard. Every morning, ask yourself 2 questions. How will I start today? And how will I finish today? Because the truth is, a strong start with a weak finish is just wasted potential. But a strong start with a strong finish? That's how you build a life you're proud of. That's how you build discipline. That's how you become unstoppable. Start strong, stay strong, finish stronger. Declare your intention. Comment, "I finish what I start." Number 6. Act now, don't wait. Procrastination is a silent killer. It doesn't scream at you. It doesn't announce itself. It just whispers, "You can do it later." And before you know it, later becomes never. The Stoics had zero patience for delay. They understood that time is the one thing you can never get back. Marcus Aurelius warned, "Think of yourself as dead. You have lived your life. Now take what's left and live it properly." That's not morbid, That's urgency. That's a wake-up call. Because every moment you spend waiting is a moment you'll never see again. Most people wait for the perfect conditions. They wait to feel ready. They wait for more time, more money, more confidence. But here's the truth. Perfect never comes. And while you're waiting, life is passing you by. Seneca said, "While we wait for life, life passes." You don't need to be ready. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to start, right now, this morning, with whatever you have. The Stoics didn't believe in grand gestures. They believed in small, consistent actions. They believed in doing what you can, with what you have, where you are. Action is the antidote to anxiety. When you're stuck in your head, overthinking, worrying, imagining worst-case scenarios, action cuts through all of it. It doesn't matter if the action is perfect. It just matters that you move. Because movement creates clarity. Movement creates momentum, and momentum creates results. The longer you wait, the harder it gets. The more you think about doing something, the more reasons you find not to do it. But when you act immediately, you don't give fear a chance to talk you out of it. Epictetus taught, "No great thing is created suddenly." But here's the thing. Great things are created through immediate, repeated action. Not tomorrow, not next week. Now. Every morning is an opportunity to practice immediacy, to stop negotiating with yourself, to stop making excuses, to stop saying, "I'll do it later," and just do it now. It doesn't have to be big. Make your bed, take a cold shower, write one sentence, do 10 push-ups, just act. Because action builds trust with yourself, and when you trust yourself to follow through, you become unstoppable. Waiting feels safe, but it's a trap. It's the illusion of control. You think you're being careful, being smart, being strategic. But really, you're just scared, and that's okay. Fear is human, but you don't have to obey it. The Stoics taught that courage isn't the absence of fear. It's action in the presence of fear. So, feel the fear, acknowledge it, and then do the thing anyway. Act now. Not because you feel like it, but because you're someone who acts. Because you're someone who doesn't wait for permission from life. You take it. Prove you're done waiting. Type below, "I act without delay." Number 7, focus gives you energy. Here's something most people get backwards. They think they need energy to focus. But the truth is, focus creates energy. When your mind is scattered, when you're trying to do 10 things at once, when you're jumping from task to task, you feel drained, exhausted, overwhelmed. But when you focus on one thing, when you pour your full attention into a single task, something shifts. You feel alive. You feel powerful. You feel capable. The Stoics called this single-mindedness. They believed that the fragmented mind is the suffering mind. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Concentrate every minute like a Roman, like a man, on doing what's in front of you with precise and genuine seriousness. Not what's behind you, not what might happen later. What's in front of you, right now, this moment, this task, this breath. Because when you're fully present, you're not wasting energy on worry. You're not leaking attention to distractions. You're channeling everything you have into what matters. And that's where real power lives. Every morning, distractions are waiting for you. Your phone, your email, social media, the news, other people's problems. And every time you give in to a distraction, you're giving away a piece of your energy. The Stoics understood that attention is a limited resource. You only have so much of it, and where you place it determines what you create, what you accomplish, and who you become. So, guard it. Protect it. Don't let the world steal it from you before you even start your day. Seneca said, "To be everywhere is to be nowhere." When you're multitasking, you're not really doing anything well. You're just spreading yourself thin. But when you focus, truly focus, on one thing, you do it better, you do it faster, and you feel better doing it. Focus isn't just about productivity. It's about presence. It's about honoring the moment you're in. It's about saying, "This matters. I'm here. I'm not half present. I'm all in." Every morning, decide on your focus. What's the one thing that, if you did it today, would make everything else easier or unnecessary? Do that first. Give it your full attention. No phone, no interruptions, no divided mind. Just you and the work. The Stoics believed that virtue is its own reward. But focus is your superpower. It's what separates the people who drift from the people who dominate. And it starts the moment you wake up with the decision, "Today, I will be fully present. Today, I will focus." Tell the world your decision. Comment, "I focus with intention." Number 8. Small wins grow big. There's a lie we tell ourselves, that success has to be massive to matter, that unless we're making huge leaps, we're not making progress. But the Stoics knew better. They understood that greatness isn't built in one explosive moment. It's built in 1,000 small, consistent actions that no one sees. Epictetus said, "Well-being is realized by small steps, but is truly no small thing." Every morning you wake up and do one small thing right. You're building something. You're creating momentum. You're becoming someone new. Think about it. You don't become disciplined by making one big decision. You become disciplined by making the same small decision over and over again. You don't build strength by lifting heavy once. You build it rep by rep, day by day. The same is true for your mind. Every morning you choose to get up instead of hitting snooze. That's a win. Every morning you choose to start your day with intention instead of scrolling. That's a win. And those wins, they stack, they compound, they turn into something powerful. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his private journal, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." He wasn't writing that for the world. He was reminding himself. Every single day, he woke up as the most powerful man in Rome, and yet he still had to practice the basics. He still had to remind himself to stay focused, to stay humble, to stay disciplined, because he knew that small daily practices are what keep you grounded. They're what keep you sane. They're what keep you strong. Small wins give you proof. Proof that you're capable. Proof that you can follow through. Proof that you're not just someone who talks about change. You're someone who creates it. And that proof builds confidence. Not loud, arrogant confidence. Quiet, unshakable confidence. The kind that doesn't need to announce itself. The kind that just knows. Every morning is a chance to collect another win. To prove to yourself once again that you're the kind of person who shows up, who keeps promises, who doesn't quit. Don't underestimate the small things. Making your bed, drinking water, taking 5 minutes to breathe, writing down one goal. These aren't trivial. They're the foundation. They're the building blocks. And over time, those blocks create something magnificent. The Stoics didn't chase glory. They chased excellence in the ordinary. They chased consistency. They chased small daily virtue. And that's what made them great. So, start small, win small, and watch how those small wins grow into a life you're proud of. Celebrate your progress. Write, "Small steps lead me forward." Number 9. Discipline brings freedom. Most people think discipline is a cage. They think it's about restriction, control, saying no to everything fun. But the Stoics understood something deeper. Discipline is what sets you free. When you're undisciplined, you're a slave to your impulses, a slave to your emotions, a slave to distractions. You wake up and immediately your phone controls you. Your cravings control you. Your mood controls you. You're not free. You're being tossed around by forces you never decided to follow. But when you practice discipline, you take back the wheel. You decide. You choose. You lead your own life. Epictetus, who was once a slave himself, wrote, "No man is free who is not master of himself." He knew what real freedom meant. It's not about doing whatever you want whenever you want. That's chaos. That's weakness disguised as freedom. Real freedom is having the power to do what matters, even when you don't feel like it. It's being able to say no to short-term pleasure because you're committed to long-term fulfillment. It's waking up every morning and acting according to your values, not your whims. Discipline in the morning creates freedom for the rest of your day. When you start strong, when you handle the hard stuff first, when you build momentum early, you're not stressed later. You're not scrambling. You're not behind. You've already won. You've already done what most people won't do. And now you get to move through your day with ease, with confidence, with peace. That's freedom. Not the freedom to do nothing. The freedom to do what matters without being controlled by fear, distraction, or doubt. Seneca said, "Most powerful is he who has himself in his own power." And that power isn't found in motivation. Motivation fades. It comes and goes like the weather. Discipline is what stays. Discipline is what shows up when motivation is nowhere to be found. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. It's the difference between people who dream and people who do. And every morning is a chance to practice it, to strengthen it, to prove to yourself that you're not controlled by comfort, you're controlled by choice. The irony is this: the more disciplined you are, the freer you feel. Because discipline eliminates the mental clutter, it eliminates the guilt, the regret, the constant, "I should have done that." You know you showed up, you know you did your part, and that gives you peace, that gives you freedom. So don't resist discipline, embrace it, build it, let it shape your mornings, because discipline isn't the enemy of freedom, it's the path to it. Claim your freedom below. Type, "Discipline sets me free." Number 10, you decide your day. Here's the ultimate truth the Stoics want you to understand. No one else is coming to save your day. No one else is going to make it meaningful. No one else is going to decide how you feel, how you act, or what you accomplish. That's all on you. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking, not in your circumstances, not in what happens to you, in how you respond, in what you choose, in how you think." Every single morning you stand at a crossroads. One path leads to reaction, letting the world dictate your energy, your mood, your direction. The other path leads to intention, deciding who you're going to be regardless of what the world throws at you. The Stoics lived by a simple principle. You control your inner world, and that's enough. You can't control the weather. You can't control traffic. You can't control what other people say or do, but you can control how you meet it all. And that control, that's your power. When you wake up, you're not waking up to a day that's already written. You're waking up to a blank page, and you're holding the pen. Yes, there will be challenges. Yes, there will be things you didn't plan for, but none of that decides your day. You do. You decide if you'll be present or distracted. You decide if you'll be grateful or bitter. You decide if you'll move forward or stay stuck. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." And your reaction, that's your choice. Always. This isn't about pretending everything is perfect. It's about taking ownership. It's about refusing to be a victim of your own life. The Stoics faced wars, loss, betrayal, illness, all the worst things life could throw at them, and yet they chose to respond with strength, with grace, with wisdom. They didn't ask, "Why is this happening to me?" They asked, "What can I do with this?" And that shift from victim to agent changes everything. It changes how you feel. It changes what you do. It changes who you become. So every morning, remind yourself, I decide. I decide how I start. I decide what I focus on. I decide what I give my energy to. I decide if today will be wasted or if it will be lived. No one can take that from you. Not your boss, not your circumstances, not your past. You are the author of your day. You are the captain of your mind. And when you truly own that, when you stop waiting for life to give you permission and start giving yourself permission, everything changes. You stop drifting, you start directing, and that's when you become truly unstoppable. Own your authority. Comment, I am the author of my day. So here we are, 10 ways to discipline your mind every single morning using the ancient wisdom of Stoicism. But here's the thing, knowing this doesn't change anything. Reading this doesn't change anything. It's what you do tomorrow morning that matters. It's whether you wake up and actually practice this, whether you take control of your thoughts, whether you leave yesterday behind, whether you act now instead of waiting, whether you start strong and finish stronger. The Stoics didn't write philosophy to sound smart. They wrote it to survive, to thrive, to build lives of meaning in a world that was just as chaotic, just as uncertain, just as difficult as ours. And they did it the same way you will, one morning at a time, one choice at a time, one disciplined action at a time. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." And that starts tomorrow. That starts the moment you open your eyes and decide that today will be different, that you will be different. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be intentional. You don't need to have it all together. You just need to show up. Because every morning you choose discipline over distraction, you're voting for the person you want to become. And those votes add up. They become habits. Habits become character. And character becomes destiny. So decide right now, who are you going to be tomorrow morning? Are you going to hit snooze and hand your power away? Or are you going to rise, take command, and build the life you know you're capable of? The Stoics believed that philosophy isn't something you study, it's something you live. And every single morning is a chance to live it, to prove it, to become it. So take what you've learned here, use it, practice it, make it yours. And remember, you are not your circumstances, you are not your past, you are not your worst day. You are someone who is capable of greatness. And that greatness starts with disciplining your mind every single morning. Before you go, do me a favor. Hit that like button. Drop a comment with one of the affirmations from today. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. And subscribe to this channel because we're just getting started. This is about building a community of people who refuse to settle, who refuse to drift, who choose discipline, strength, and purpose every single day. I'll see you in the next one. Now go, wake up tomorrow and own your day. Seal this commitment, drop your final affirmation. Every morning, I rise with discipline.